Hello everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I wanted to take a little bit of a vacation from doing videos, and I wanted to rest. I wanted to rest more because of my condition with my legs. I'm doing okay. There hasn't been any incidents of blood, veins popping and stuff like that, and so far so good. Keeping a watch, a close watch on my legs. I got like medical gauze and compression socks and stuff like that. So for the past week or so, a couple of weeks actually, I think it's pretty good. I wanted to talk about a very important subject that I strongly feel is very important. I even wrote a book about it, and I tried to get it published, and of course I haven't had much luck because of problems with Vanity Press. And what Vanity Press is when they expect you to put in money, so it wouldn't be that much of a risk for them if the book fails or whatever like that, or they just want to be stingy about it or whatever, because it's all about money. A lot of these companies are all about money. One publishing company didn't want to publish my book because of the subject matter. Things that I was saying in this book, in my manuscript, which I had to cover up my real name, but it's called The Apathy of Social Darwin, Survival of the Luckiest. That's my my book, and it's about social Darwin, and I talk about things having to do with the corruption of religion, about why I became an agnostic, and how believing in Jesus and other stuff like that is just deceptive and straight up bullshit. And also about police corruption. In one of my chapters I talked about police corruption. I talk about genetics when it comes to why people are in such a way, their behavior, the way they think, good and bad genetics and stuff like that. And about people that are overweight, that I argue that a large portion of the reason is because of genetics. And I talk about basically very sensitive, very controversial subjects that's going to piss a lot of people off. A lot of people are going to be angry on a lot of the things that I wrote in this book, in my manuscript. And that's one of the reasons why one publishing company rejected it. They came up with some lame excuse saying, well, it's not the type of material that's appropriate for this and that. And they were saying that, of course they wouldn't talk to me directly. They contacted me through Gmail. And then, I was like, what's wrong with the way I wrote it, or did I use too many bad words? Was the grammar off or something, which wasn't, and I didn't use any bad words as far as I know. And they said no, and they wrote back saying no, it's not because of that, it's because of, and then they came up with some stupid lame excuse. So another publishing company, actually the reason why they rejected it is because they didn't like the material, the subject matter. And if they published it knowing that it will sell, they would actually sell copies like crazy, but at the same time it's going to cause controversy, knowing that a lot of people are going to get angry and offended by it. I know a lot of people are going to be offended, and they don't want to associate themselves with me. They think that because they published it, that they actually condoned what I said or what I wrote in that book. So it was their way of like pushing me away, giving me the brush off. Like, I don't want to get involved with you in your subject matter. Another publishing company accepted it. And I got a phone call. And they said, Mr. They said my name. I didn't answer the phone because I was out and I left my phone charging. So they left a voice message, and one guy was saying, Mr. whatever, and then we had the chance to review your manuscript, because I sent it to them. I sent my entire manuscript to them. They said we had a chance to review your manuscript, and it's been accepted as a candidate. They accepted my book. I cannot believe how happy I was. And the thing was, but the problem is, I didn't have the money to put in, because again, with them, it wasn't about being stingy, or maybe it was, I don't know, I don't think so. But it was like, you know, like we're taking a risk putting in money to publish the book, so we need you to put some money also in it too, and things like that. So I guess that's how business is, or whatever. Finding out a publishing company that would be willing to pay for it, because they know that it has a great deal of potential to sell, and knowing that the person is fairly poor, or I guess, you know, doesn't, because I'm on disability. I don't work anymore. And it took me a whole year to actually write this book, to finish this book. It took me a whole year of researching, interviewing people, especially police officers for one chapter, and I never named names. I just it was very discreet, and you know, they were saying about certain things that were going on and stuff like that, and also about how life is just rigged for people that are meant to succeed, and how the common people, or the common folk, get fucked over. So I said that we live in a world that's basically Darwinistic. And life is rough because it's been rigged that way. I mean, that there's a demand for winners and losers, and it has to be that way in order for this system, or I don't know what to call it, system or whatever, but in order for this thing to work, you know, with corruption, with all the bad things that are happening, especially in this country. I mean, all around the world, but especially in this country. So the apathy of social Darwin, survival of the luckiest, was, I wanted to give it a sarcastic title, because it's not survival of the fittest. is survival of the luckiest. You got to be lucky in order to have it all. And there's a lot to explain on that, but there's that kind of thing. But you just have to read the book. And I don't know how I'm gonna get it published. I started my book in the late year of like November or September of 2011, and I finished it in 2012, like July or August, like late August of 2012 or something like that. So it took that long. I'm very proud of my book, and I don't know how I'm going to get it published, knowing it's going to be hard to find a publishing company. Maybe some of you people out there can give me some advice. One person said I should put it on Amazon and try to get it published that way or something like that, and just let the viewers, like, I advertise it, and if they find it interesting enough, they'll just try to buy the book, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I mean, some people said I should blog it. I don't know what to do, really. I don't know, and it's really hard to trust publishing companies for the reasons that I just said. With all that being said, I wanted to talk about more on, not just on the subject matter of my manuscript, but the subject matter of what this video is supposed to be about. It's about social Darwin. I don't care what anybody says. We live in a world that's rigged, that's set up a certain way, and people are just born to be losers, and people are born to be winners because of various reasons. Corruption, because environment, and in some cases, or a lot of cases, genetics, and all sorts of things, you know, all sorts of bad things. And the whole idea was created by Herbert Spencer. And for those of you who don't know who Herbert Spencer is, Herbert Spencer was. He was like a scientist, but he's more like a person who was into sociology and stuff like that. I don't know too much about who or what he really was, but I know that he actually was someone who was an expert in saying and how things are, how about why the rich are rich and why the poor are poor, and why certain people are that way, and this and that. And he put it in different categories. And even though a lot of the things he said I actually agreed with, and he took the ideas of Charles Darwin, who wrote the book Origin of Species. He was, and of natural selection, and about how people are able, how animals and plants or whatever, things like that could adapt, and things like that, about why certain type of creatures are considered weak, and other ones are considered to be more strong and able to survive, and things like that, or, you know, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he took the ideas of Charles Darwin and used it in sociology for people. And he even though a lot of the things he said really did make sense, he took it also, I think he went a little bit too far and took it to an arrogant level. And now social Darwinism is actually being practiced and heavily condoned to an unreasonable level, to an unfair level, and is doing a great deal of damage. And I mean a great deal of damage. and lives are ruined because of that. And I was protesting against that. I was saying in my manuscript how seriously messed up it is to even condone that. Yes, we live in a socially Darwinistic system or way of thinking and things like that, but things could change for the better. We just have to put effort into it. We have to understand certain things and put it into practice. And I wish that hundreds of thousands of people would read my book. You know, it's interesting as hell. A couple of people that were big time liberals, not radical liberals, but like pretty cool guys, like college kids. They actually liked my book. They liked it a lot. And but they also said a lot of people are going to get offended by it. So I wanted to say the categories of social Darwinism. There's starting from the lowest to the highest. You know, people like omega, delta, gamma, beta, and alpha. Those are the categories. Now, the alpha male is considered, or the alpha or whatever you want to call it, is considered to be like the person who's extremely confident, someone who has it all, someone who has the ideal charisma, who has the ideal confidence, the ideal, who's lucky enough to be in a position to succeed. That's the alpha. He's a natural born leader, in other words, like that. There's a lot of alphas there's some alphas that are very good in attitude and character. But there's a lot of alpha people that are big time self-centered, narcissistic pricks. You know, assholes or bitches or whatever like that. You know, there's a lot of people like that. But those are the ones that are like, you know, are like the natural born leader and stuff like that. And then there's the beta, which is almost like the alpha. They're like considered the second best type people, and they're like the middle type of they're dominant, just like the alpha, psychologically and emotionally they're dominant, the alpha, but the beta is somewhat submissive because they're like the second best. But they want to succeed. They want to go up to that higher level. The gamma is considered to be the rebel. A person who's a gamma is like a straight up, you know, I don't give a fuck about what you think about this, you know, like fuck you, and I don't have to fucking take your bullshit, you know, that kind of thing, and I'm gonna do my own thing. And they're very rejective to a lot of the things that are considered to be bullshit. Fascism and people trying to things that they know that's considered to be damaging or whatever. And these are usually the people that are you know, like philosophers, edgy teens, hipsters. And you can easily spot these type of people because they're like very outspoken. You know, the outspoken ones, the ones that would contradict when they know that something is not right, and they don't have any kind of fear, and they pretty much stand their ground and stuff like that. And these are the ones that actually would do their own thing. They don't have to follow trends. They don't have to like go with the crowd, just because, you know, just to fit in. or anything like that. Though they're like a rebel. They'll just do their own thing. And then there's the delta, the lower, and the delta is the second last of the lowest. A delta is kind of like what is considered to be somewhat of a loser. They just basically people that don't really accomplish much in their life. The delta is the type of person that would just like, you know, they just exist. They're like kind of bummy or whatever. They're just like people that don't really accomplish much. And then we have the omega, which is the lowest ones. And the omega is the person who lacks confidence, the one that gets bullied, the one that usually gets fucked over. And they usually are the scapegoat or the patsy if something were to go wrong. They just blame it on this one, on this person. He doesn't know how he or she cannot defend themselves. They can't keep a job, and they're looked as being stupid or being a straight up loser, a fuck up, you know, and this and that. But it's not because of that. They may have learning disorders or issues, but their main problem is their lack of confidence, and that's really what their main problem is. And hopefully this video isn't too long, because it's already going close to 22 minutes. I usually don't go this long, but I wanted to make this point very very strongly. Okay, any questions or comments, you know what to do. And I hope if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And to all of you, take care.